Hi everybody, my name's Terry Gibson. I'm the tennis pro here at Saddlebrook and also a member of the Adidas High Performance coaching staff. I'm here at Saddlebrook on Monday and Thursdays from 8 to 12 in the winter, 7 to 11 in the summer, and I'm sitting up under the shelter there. If any of you have any questions about strokes, about fundamentals of doubles or anything, come up and ask me, or also I can come down on the court to analyze your games for you. The purpose of us being here today is we're going to go through a series of tennis tips to help improve your game and make you a better player. Today we're going to cover the ready position from the baseline. Let's start from the ground up. We're going to have our feet about shoulder width apart. We're going to get on the balls of our feet, bend our knees. We want to be leaning forward a little bit. Let's go over that one more time. Feet shoulder width apart, leaning forward on the balls of your feet, knees bent, racket out in front of you, not close to your body, out in front, so you have the freedom of going either way. Now preferably, let's have the racket below your eye level so you have a clear span of watching. If you get it up too high, it's kind of in your way. So right below your eyes, there's a ready position right here. Now here's the reason for this. With my racket being in the middle, I can go to my left for a forehand. I can go to my right for a backhand. I'm right in the middle. After you hit your shot, we're talking about a ground stroke back here at the baseline or a return of serve. After you turn to hit your shot, you go right back to this position. Backhand. You come back to this position. This way you're maintaining your balance and you're ready to go either way. Now here's what I see some of you doing. Some of you are dropping your racket down, which means that you've got to come back up to get ready. This is an extra step. You're here, you're coming up. That's an extra step we don't need. Some of you are standing like this, which means that every time you go to hit a shot, you're off balance. Your hands aren't together. You're not ready. This is your ready position. Return a serve, ground stroke. You want the racket out in front, a little bit away from your body. This is your ready position. If you do this, you're going to get more shots in play, and you'll be ready for the shot early. This is what we want to see. Hi everybody, this is Terry's Tennis Tips, number 2 in the series. You remember in step 1 we talked about the ready position from the baseline. I'm now at the net. A ready position at the net doesn't change a whole lot. Remember from step 1, feet shoulder width apart, knees bent, I'm on the balls of my feet leaning forward, racket out in front of me below eye level. Same thing we learned in step 1. Now here comes the only change. As you approach the net, we want you to use the Continental Grip. The Continental Grip is this. Knuckle of your index finger is on the first bevel, off to the side. The reason is when we get a forehand volley, we have our hand behind the racket. When we hit a backhand volley, your hand is behind the racket for more power. So once again, I'm at the net. We're covering the ready position. Feet shoulder width apart. Racket out in front of me. I'm on the balls of my feet with my knees bent. Exact same ready position as at the baseline, except for the grip change. Remember, knuckle on your index finger, your base knuckle, is turned a little bit more to the right so that when you hit a volley, you have equal hand behind the racket, which gives you a more stable foundation for a volley. So that's it. We're on step number 2, and we've covered you with both ready positions. That's going to make you a better tennis player and improve your game. Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Terry's Tennis Tips. This is number 3 in our series. We're going to talk about the forehand today. It's going to start with that ready position that we started in step number 1. Let's go over it again. Feet shoulder width apart, knees bent, racket out in front of me but below my eye level. Now we're talking about the forehand. The key is I'm going to get my racket back with my left hand out in front of me. This has to occur before the ball bounces on your side. Now you only have one thing left to do. Step into the ball. Now let's talk about that again. Here's what happens to a lot of you. The ball's coming. You time your racket to go back at the same time the ball's bouncing, and you look like this. Does it look familiar? Well, if it does, here's what I want you to do. When the person hits the ball on the other side and you see it's a forehand, I want you to get into this position. Look at all I have to do now. Turn and step into the ball. Early racket preparation is the key. Whether it's a forehand, backhand, or whatever, right now, forehand. Racket back. Left hand out in front of you. I'm ready for the ball no matter where it bounces. If you're playing on a day where it's windy, I can certainly adjust right now because I'm already ready. So here's the thing to remember. Racket back before the ball bounces. Hi everybody. Welcome to another episode. Terry's Tennis Tips. This is number 4 in our series. You remember in number 3 we covered the forehand? We're going to do the backhand today. Let's review something. A good ready position starts everything. Feet shoulder width apart. Knees bent. Racket out in front of me, below eye level. Now, in step number 3, we talked about getting the racket back early. Nothing's different here. If you have a two-hand backhand, you're going to turn, and you're going to have your racket back before the ball bounces. If you have a one-hand backhand, important thing, pull the racket back with your left hand. This turns your shoulders. Let me show you what a lot of you do. You don't use the left hand to pull the racket back. We're talking about the backhand. You don't use your left hand to pull the racket back. You drop it, and you end up hitting your backhand one-handed and pushing it, producing a weak shot or even worse yet, into the net. So remember this on your backhand. Make the left hand pull the racket back. That turns your shoulders, and now all you have to do is hit it. But once again, like in step 3, the racket has to be back before the ball bounces. I'm going to keep harping on this. Racket back before the ball bounces. This is going to help you become a better player and beat some of those people you've been losing to. We'll see you in the next segment. Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Terry's Tennis Tips, trying to make you a better tennis player. What I want to talk about today is the serve. A lot of you have come up to me and said, how can I get more pace on my serve? I want to hit my serve faster. First, let's cover more or less the beginning side. A lot of you have what we call the pancake grip. I'm going to show this to you. It's where your hand, the V of my hand, is on the side of the racket with my face down. That's called a pancake grip. So when you go to hit your serve, you're hitting it like that. Now obviously that's limited, but it's a big change if we take you from beginning to advanced. But right now I'm talking about the beginner serve. Once again, it's where your hand, the V of your hand, is on the side of your racket. So your service motion kind of looks like this. You're standing almost with your foot facing the net. You're throwing your ball up, and you're swinging straight ahead. Now, that's very limited because your ball's going to be flat. Your clearance over the net is very small, but if you're stuck with that and you don't want to learn a more advanced serve, here's what'll get more pace on your serve. First, you need to get your toss up and out in front of you so you can hit it out in front of you. A lot of you do this. You throw the ball behind you, you lean back and hit it. You don't get your body into it. Notice I'm actually leaning backwards as I hit. Once again, to get more pace on your serve in the beginning grip, if I throw it out in front of me and hit it, I'm going to get more pace. The other thing is you have to almost stand facing the net, because if you try and turn sideways, you can't hit this. In a way, I hate to call this beginning. It's called the pancake grip, but a lot of people that didn't learn to serve through lessons automatically pick this grip up. Pancake grip, you want to get more pace on your serve, throw the ball out in front of you. One other thing that'll help you. Slide your hand down as far as you can go. Some of you are gripping your serve up this high off the end. You can't really snap your wrist. As you notice, this is sticking down below my hand. It catches on my wrist. If I slide my hand down, I now get a lot more leverage. So once again, this is the pancake grip that a lot of people have. Pace on your serve, ball out in front of you, slide your hand down to the end. You're going to hit it out in front. That'll help you get more pace on your serve. Now I want to cover a more advanced type of serve. All right, everybody, we covered what we call the pancake serve. Let's talk about the more advanced serve, which you're going to have your hand in a Continental Grip. This is the same grip we talked about for the volley in the first few episodes. This is where your knuckle, with the racket pointing straight, perpendicular to the ground, your knuckle on your index finger, which we always refer to as the base knuckle, is on the next level down from the top. This is called a Continental Grip. Same grip you use for your volley. Now here's what difference. First of all, here's what's similar. Let's slide your hand down to the end. Now when you face the net, remember in the episode we talked about the beginning serve, pancake serve, you were facing the net. Now you're going to turn sideways a little bit more. To get the most out of the serve, the fastest serve, we'd like to have your foot turn completely sideways to the baseline. I don't recommend this right now for 3-0, 3-5, maybe even 4-0. That's a little extreme, but advanced. The reason the foot is turned completely sideways, when I go back, it allows for extreme shoulder rotation. Just kind of like a baseball pitcher on the rubber of the pitcher's mound. When he turns sideways, he's ready to release his pitch like this. I'm suggesting this. Let's compromise. Instead of completely sideways, let's open it up a little bit. A lot of people like to say, let's point my left toe toward the net post. I don't quite like it that far. I like to keep it a little bit to the right of the net post as I'm facing the net. Now, in this pose, we still throw the ball out in front of us. Make sure, let's have our toss, let's have our hand like a platform, the ball out in the end of the fingertips, supported by the thumb. Let me show you that again. The ball is out in the end of my fingertips. I'm going to put my thumb on top. Here's what that allows me to do. As I start my toss and go up, I can release the thumb, and it's like a platform. Notice my arm is straight too. Some of you do this. You bend your arm, the toss comes in too short, you're going to end up hitting behind you. If I throw my ball up correctly, it should land out in front of me and come down about a foot inside the line. That's ideal for me to hit my serve. It could even be a little farther. But to review this, remember, Continental Grip on the serve, turn sideways a little bit more than in the pancake grip. Now, I'm ready to go, and I'm going to get more shoulder turn. Shoulder turn is what creates more pace on the serve. One other thing I'd like you to do. Make sure you bounce the ball the same number of times. Rituals. If you bounce the ball twice, do it every time, even on your second serve. Here's what else I want to see. Let the air out of your body. So after I bounce twice, I look at my target, I let my air out. If you've ever watched a basketball game and you watch a basketball player go to the free throw line, he is going to bounce the ball. He's going to look at the rim. He lets his air out. That makes sure you're nice and relaxed. If you don't do this, and you don't make an effort to let your air out, you could be breathing in. And that's like holding your breath when you serve, which tightens you up. You're going to be like a robot. You're not going to get any power on your serve. So remember, whatever number of bounces you like, it can be 5, it can be 3. Mine is 3. I look at my target. I let my air out. The other thing it does is it makes you take your time. So when you're serving at 40 love, if you're serving love 40, you're relaxed. You're going to get more serves in with more pace if you let your air out.